Information to help you run your business better and improve your marketing campaigns. My name is Hank Hoffmeyer, and thank you for joining me on Hank's Marketing and Business Tips. Hello, everybody. This is Hank Hoffmeyer with Hank's Marketing and Business Tip. I'm here with a special guest today. It's someone I met when I was out in Phoenix, Arizona, speaking about email marketing. This gentleman stayed behind afterward, and we had some conversation about marketing in general. I think we spoke for almost maybe half an hour after my session, and I am happy to have Professor John with me today. He is from Muscle Memory Group. And he has told me that, he is also called PJ, so I'm going to refer to him as PJ, but most people know him as Professor John. So welcome, Professor John, and let us know a little bit about yourself and what Muscle Memory Group does, and then we can get into offering some value to my listeners as far as a marketing and business tip.
Awesome. Great to be here, Hank. I was so inspired by your presentation and how you delivered the email marketing approach, because that's some of the stuff that I know in my profession in the fitness industry that is lacking tremendously in their career path and their career path process. And so when I heard you, I was actually in the process of doing for an expo. I was setting up my PowerPoint presentation for an expo, and I said, "You just made me remember all the little things I had learned I'm supposed to put into my presentation." So I knew when you were talking, I just connected with you right away.
Yeah, that's great. A lot of people think they know how marketing works in general, but then email marketing, I've been doing it for 7 years, and I'm still learning. It is great to be out and about to tell people, remember best practices, but also here's some great nuggets of information, especially with the way consumerism is changing and the customer or consumer is so powered when it comes to information. They have phone in their pocket and they can look up information. You want to make sure you're staying relevant. And I think you and I have a same mindset of putting value out there, developing a relationship before you ask for a sale. Before the show, you and I were just discussing that.
Exactly. And in my area, I keep reminding my apprentices and interns and externs that they're sophisticated buyers. They can do things instantly that before you can just, wear the fancy, showy clothes. You can go out and be all, the image was what normally got you business. But in today's market, you not only with the internet as well, you cannot just rely on the appearance alone, and you just can't rely on the old tools. So it's a matter of, yes, you can use some old school stuff, but it's now the consumer is very much more sophisticated.
Yeah, I would say the old school way was, dress to impress. You got that first impression, and it was a one call, one close type of scenario. People made decisions right away, where now people say, wait, I have alternatives, and there's different pricing models out there. Let me look at all that before I make a decision.
Yeah, the time from open to close is much more extended. It's not this instantaneous, hey, I can do this or I can do that for you. They really want to know who you are. If you're up on the up and up, and really what your skill set is that you can bring value to their lifestyle. They built this lifestyle, and now you're coming in and saying, hey, I can enhance it. But they're looking in the back of their mind going, well, I've done this well so far. What can you obviously bring to me that I can't do or touch on my phone even faster?
Right. Before we get into a more in-depth conversation, tell us a little bit about what the Muscle Memory Group does and what you do, and maybe a little bit about yourself if you want to.
Okay. Well, the Muscle Memory Group is evolved over the years. I've been practicing in the personal training space, the fitness space, for over 25 years. And what has happened is that there has never been a tenured sort of placement for trainers. Matter of fact, the fitness industry as a whole is at a disadvantage because they have never dovetailed into the greater or broader marketplace. And what the muscle memory group has done is went back in history, researched all these components of fitness, and discovered some anomalies, which has allowed my business to now take shape in form of books, educational materials, and how to develop the career path for the fitness professional as a whole. Not just, I'm the trainer, I got a business card, here I am, train with me. It's now knowing the 7 career path phases. It's now having a fitness career path primer. It's now understanding what it means to actually serve not only the individual, but the community and the industry at large. Those 3, the individual, the community, and the industry at large.
Wow. In a nutshell, and I'm just thinking about it in my mind, how does it make sense? It's almost like you're a personal trainer for a personal trainer.
I've been called the chef. It's like having a personal chef for the personal trainer. I have a TV segment I do on AZTV here in Arizona, Phoenix, and I shoot that, and I actually synthesize that content so that non-exercisers, the fitness averse, and orphan clients can get learning relationship with their body, and they learn fitness life skills, not just the exercises.
Right.
Exercises has left 95% of the fitness industry is there is a 95% failure rate, and the fitness industry doesn't want to address that. There's also the idea that they're focusing on one body fat type when the actual body has 2 body fat systems. So just imagine if I didn't have a phone here, or if I didn't have the screen here, and but we're talking, we can talk, but you couldn't really see me. Well, that's how the second body fat works. You can't see it, but it's actually communicating.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, and I exercise a little bit, and that's how I look at it. But for me to really realize a decent amount of weight loss order to be healthy, I had to make lifestyle changes, as you mentioned. That was really for me, what it was, the 2 biggest things I did was I stopped stress eating and I stopped bored eating. I found myself eating when I was bored and when I was stressed, and it would be snacks and it would be stuff that's not healthy.
Right.
Where I started drinking more water, I started regularly exercising, cutting my portions, and making healthier choices. Once that became habit after, say, 90 days, that's where I started to see a continuous improvement on what's going on. Just feel better. And, I lost 30 pounds in like 40 days, 45 days. And I was able to keep it off. But it's not really to just look good. Of course, I want to look good when I'm speaking, but I want to be around for another, 30, 40 years. And the rate I was going with the types of food I was eating and just not watching what I was doing probably wouldn't allow that to happen.
Right. Well, what our system, or what I try to teach to trainers, is to provide the client with emotional sustenance. And I build that emotional IQ to help tune in and fine tune their approach to how the stuff that you already have done, how to advance that and build upon that to give you that confidence, the confidence and the buyer's pride in knowing that the information that you're going to get going forward is going to give you a success rate that you can bank on.
I think this is a 2-for-1 for the listeners, because we're going to get into marketing in a moment. But I think
marketing, yeah,
as a business owner, it's also important to watch your health, right? Because if you're a business owner and you have a family, you want to stay healthy. You don't want to become sick. You don't want to put yourself at risk of passing away, et cetera. And you want to have fun and you want to feel good. But when you're working, 12, 14, 18 hours a day with a startup or whatever, it's hard to really focus on, am I going to drink this water? No, I want this energy drink, or, I need this soda. And then, then you start eating fast food. Just, there are ways to eat fast food a little healthier as well. Get the grilled chicken, and throw away the bottom of the bun, and things like that. And you probably know all of that, but just stuff I've learned, it's just comes down to choices. And that also comes into play with marketing. You have to make choices to brand your company,
Advance
put
your
yourself
company.
out there,
Yeah.
and create sales, provide value and excellent customer service as well. Those are all conscious decisions at the end of the day.
That is exactly right. When you are dovetailing and making those choices, you want to optimize your workflow. That's one of the things, and when I teach with my trainers or with a client, is how to optimize workflow. So if you're in a business setting and you want to be at the top of your game so that the chain, the logistics to get to the whatever that final outcome is, whether it's a broader reach or whether it's having another outpost or just getting more customers in the pipeline. Like you said, it's a healthy way of doing it, and that's why I met you, because you're going to help me find a much better way instead of piecemealing my WordPress, piecemealing my communications, piecemealing all these different things that have to come together to make it smooth. So I could be myself on a information diet, so to speak.
Right, and it comes down to planning. Whether it's setting time aside to read a book, a blog article, or listen to how someone speak about how do I do email marketing. It's also writing down, okay, this is the email I'm going to send out on Monday, and I'm going to also post something similar on social media, and I'm going to print something out if you have a brick and mortar store, and I'm going to put that here. Like you mentioned, you need to be cohesive and make sure it's not fragmented, is what we were kind of getting at. Just make sure you have whatever it's called, themes or a campaign that's kind of related. This way, someone doesn't see something on Facebook that is totally different than what they got via email, especially if it's a discount. If you get a 30% off discount on Facebook, but then it's only 10% via email, you may be able to tactically do that in some ways, but if somebody's following you on both, they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, because then if it changes and the email's higher later, they're just going to say, I don't know what's going on here. What are you doing?
Right. It's a matter of trust. You have to, no matter where your position is, whether you're doing mostly online or whether you're offline or brick and mortar, like you said, that continuity has to be in place. It has to be, hey, I'm this person that's representing this price point or this service, and it has to be continuous.
Right. And you have to remember, a lot of times people think that they want that one customer and they're trying to drive that one sale, but really there's a group out there that you need to convince that you are trustworthy, you are someone that's going to help them, you're going to provide value, and you're going to provide customer service after the sale. There's nothing worse than, thank you for your money, see you later, don't talk to me again. And sad to see so many marketers actually, or companies still have that type of mentality, where you see some of these brands that do the little extras or provide something after the fact, or even just a follow-up survey or call, even though you may not participate in it. It makes you feel like they valued my business.
Exactly. Like in my particular service, when I work with a client, I would call fitness savings accounts. And that fitness savings account is designed to be a proof of their hard work that they've put in. As I work with them, I put the money in on their behalf as they complete every segment of their process. But I don't even stop there. I send a fitness summary report each month, whether you're trained with me or not, that keeps you abreast of some of the information, the content, what it is that if you're on this journey, I make certain that here's some things you might want to have in your back pocket month after month after month, because you can then see, oh, if I did this, that progressed me to this. If I did this in May, in August, I should be here. And it shows that progress report on that summary. So that's one of the things, like you just said, that I do, that you can go out there. There's no trainer who even bothers to even do a fulfillment and follow-up.
And the savings account you mentioned, I would correlate that to like a rewards program, where so many companies out there will want to rather give a discount than give a reward, where I think the rewards build habits within your customers, and that's what keeps them coming back. So I like that you do that.
Yeah, and where I met you, I met with the Wells Fargo. As we already know, they need a rewards program pretty bad, and yeah, my rewards program, as you called it, is attached to every bank in all 50 states. That's what my process is with the Muscle Memory Group right now, is to build that foundation so all trainers coming on can offer those type of rewards to their clients.
Awesome. Is there anything else you think we should talk about? I know before the show, I think we're talking about branding personas. Did you want to go into that a little bit?
We definitely need to talk about branding, because many people, whether it's in the fitness profession or in the telephone companies, the cell phone companies, Apple does amazing branding, as we know. But that's, when you look at the world's best, how can the average ordinary guy, small person, brick and mortar person, adopt those top level corporate high end type of talent into their marketing space, to exhibit to the consumer? And that's one of the things that the Muscle Memory Group, I don't want to say rip off, but I definitely follow what they do and try to, any way, shape, or form, adopt those skills into the branding element. They do the best, and you shouldn't be feeling bad about, hey, that little element, how about the same color scheme? Or how about keeping the same, logo type that, or your color palette. These are all branding elements that I see miss.
There's a chapter in my book that I just finished writing, and I'm going into the editing phase, and I talk about branding. And you mentioned, the cohesiveness with color, look and feel. And another thing I remembered is I was driving down the road, and when I first moved to North Carolina, and there's a roofing company. It's been in business for a long time. It's been in the family, Baker Roofing, and on the back of all their trucks, it says, "Do good work. At a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but do good work." That immediately sets them apart from any other service provider in the area, just because you know that they're going to do a good job. But if something does happen or negatively happens, they're going to make it right, is what I would get from that. And I would give them a shot at my business if I needed somebody to do roofing for me.
I neglected to bring, I brought like 6 leave behinds that I pick up. Everywhere I go, I pick up leave behinds, and I compare them. And if you, in the fitness space, if you compare the leave behinds, everybody wants to give you a free session. And then I look at it and go, well, everybody's giving a free session, but no one has the fulfillment side down.
Right.
They can give it for free, but that tells the layperson, the non-exerciser, the fitness averse person, you're going to give me this at first, but what's going to happen at the end? What's going to happen when I pay you my money? You're going to run to the next person to give something else for free, while I'm still getting, I don't know what I'm getting fulfilled with. That's one of the reasons I created some of these other resources, like the fitness savings account. And I prominently put that on my cards. If I had one of my leave behinds, you would see a noticeable difference. I can give you 10 of these, and then you look at mine and you'll go, hey, that guy is doing, he's giving you modern self-test tools. This guy's just giving me a free session, but I'm getting exercise short codes and life skills. And this guy's giving me 10% discount on clothing I might not even wear, or I might not be able to wear.
And the free trial is really for the business owner to try to get business. What does the consumer get out of it? Just the experience, but everybody offers that. Where if you come in and, like you said, you offer education and maybe a savings account, you're giving tangible items and information that's going to actually be of value to the consumer, and it's going to set you apart from anyone else that's just doing a trial.
Exactly. I was fortunate in my experience that I never really had to do a trial. What I was able to do is I allowed them to participate in the program at a very, I let them set the price. I let the consumer set the price. I obviously give them something of value immediately so that they can see that that the job can be done based on the terms that they already know. I take what they know
Right.
and build on what they already do. I don't just take this away and say, well, that's all crap. You need to know this. This is the baseline of what they know. Let's add to it and see how far we can get so that you can build it and do it on your own. So you can be self-sustaining.
Right.
And that's just not out there.
Yeah, cheapest is not always better either. It comes down to perception. What is to perceived value? I remember a study, or I had some screenshots of eBay doing a trial. They would give a certain amount of credits if you signed up. No credits, $25 and $50 credit to sign up and try, to sell on their platform. And it turns out the $25 credit did the best, not the 50 to 25. And that just shows you, it depends on what the person perceives, what they're going to get from that. And you'd be amazed. You need to try different things out and test. And marketing, you definitely always need to be testing. And being from a software company, and talking about value, what we bring, of course, we have a 30-day free trial. You can try Eye Contact, who I work for. But what you're going to get that's a differentiator is a customer success manager that's going to help you with strategy, setup, and making sure everything is going the way you need it to, rather than you fumbling around and using online help services.
Right. I particularly like that because, like I said, when you're building the online space, a lot of the trainers that I work with, they're going to these, they're always add-ons. So if they get a new tool, there's a monthly cost and expenditure. If they're getting a lot of the software services that they try to do, they're not flexible enough for the large array of consumers that come to them. So they dovetail into one size fits all. I don't even use those services myself. I have not used any services associated with, hey, we'll just put you on manual override and just let this do this automatic drip. No, you have to do, it's still a person-to-person event. So just putting them on a computer program with a video and telling them to follow the video, I hate to tell you, that's not fitness. It's not fitness. I call it rendition. A person can rendition it, but until that person comes in and talk about things like your pinch points, all the joints on your body are pinch points. So if you think of a hose attached to a faucet, turn it on and crimp the hose, the pressure from the water is pushing on that hose. But believe it or not, when you open that hose, that pressure has to be relieved. Well, our bodies are in a closed circuit. And every time we do a pinch point, that's how our, quote, heart rates get elevated, because all those pinch points are working in synchronous relationships. And we can get very winded and use what I call the lipolytic enzyme system to do the unwanted body fat stuff, not the old way where it's just beating you up.
Right. And while you were talking earlier, it made me think of, people that just put out videos or something and try to make money off of that, especially like you're talking about in the exercise world. What they're trying to do is play to these, what I think you mentioned, exercise adverse people. Somebody that says, oh, I need to do something. I'm just going to buy this video and I'll do it. And then maybe they watch it once or twice, but they never watch it again. For some business owners, that's a gold mine, right? Because they're going to make money, but they're not providing that value. Therefore, they may not be around in like a year or 2 years because they've set up their foundation for their business totally wrong.
Right. The foundation of the Muscle Memory Group is based on consumer confidence. The whole foundation, it's built on consumer confidence, and we build buyer's pride every step of the way. Not this half, oh, well, we'll show you this and not do this. We want you to go, because there's very few that's gone the entire length of what it means to help someone lose unwanted fat. Not the entire, from the beginning to where they're finally able to go, oh, I know I need to know my protein number. Oh, and I know what that is. I know how to calculate it.
Right.
Oh, I know how to do a metabolic map. I only have to do it 12 times the entire year. I don't have to keep a diary every single day and look at the regrets that I thought I was supposed to eat. Now I don't even know what I'm supposed to eat.
I like how you approach things because you just have so much knowledge and information, and that's what you're providing to customers or people that want to talk to you. Where other people would just say, "Hey, we have great equipment that you can use. You can use this treadmill, you can use this exercise bike, et cetera, or our free weights are over here." That's what it comes down to. You know, as a person, you have to make a decision. Do you go for quality or do you go for the cheaper price, you know, and the lower quality? And a lot of times people, I know they go for the lower quality and the cheaper price, but when it comes to your business and correlating this back to marketing and running a business, don't skimp, right? Especially when it
Right.
comes to tools and information that you need to run your business successfully. Make sure you're paying to go to conferences and you're learning things, you're reading books and you're buying good software to use so that you can run your business in the best way. And in turn, that'll help you provide value to your customer. And that's what brings money back to you to keep that cycle going.
Well, a larger bulk of the money, because the reliance is on the brand, is that they are going to deliver on the promise. And in my space, there is, like I said, there's a 95% fitness failure rate. Most of the consumers have tasted the bitter pill from things that have not quite gone right. That stays with them longer, so there's a lot of distrust. There's so much distrust between the trainers because the fitness certifications don't even follow up on the promise. With the muscle memory group, we give our trainers tenure year after year. With the muscle memory group, we make sure that they have a signing bonus. With the muscle memory group, we build in 5 financial positions of strength. That's at the beginning. As they build their clientele base, as they bring more people in to mentor under them, that brand builds them. They reap at the end of their career a financial reward based on all the things they've done in the past.
Awesome.
And that's what the muscle memory group has done.
That's good. It sounds like, you know, it's a sound program and different than what I know of out there. Don't know it intimately, that space, but
Right.
just knowing what I know about, you know, the fitness industry and personal trainers, you know, when you go to a gym and look to join, you know, those personal trainers will always come over and promise the world to you. Then you join and it's like you can't even book time with them because they're either only there 2 hours a day or something. And, you know, it's just can't get anything done.
Their worlds collide. Yeah. Their world collided because they can't keep their rosters filled half hour upon half hour. And they're working on such inefficiencies. One of the things that Muscle Memory Group has built is an app that will remove all those inefficiencies so that any trainer, whether they're starting at what I call the weight right level or where I am at the instructor savant level, they are guaranteed an income, but B, able to interface with not just the customers, small businesses and enterprises, because now they have the tools to do it. And like you said, don't go there and they promise you the world, and that promise gets lost in the shuffle because they don't know how to deliver it.
Right.
Their brand, they've destroyed their brand before their brand had even taken off. The only thing they thought their brand is the business card, and that's just not true.
Yeah, a business card with a nice logo and phone number and an email, and you're fine, right? You have a business.
I wish that was true. Oh my God, that's so bad.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny is when I was at the show, just talking to people and really inquiring about what they do, so that I can have a good conversation about how email marketing can help them with their business. You know, there were people that were within 2 sentences, I would understand exactly what they do, even though it might be unique, and I would have a good conversation with, okay, this is how you use email marketing. And then the other side, there's people that walked away from the table and I had no clue what they did. And, you know, I don't know what they did. So I just told them they could use email marketing to grow their business. And that allowed me to make a previous episode talking about that. Make sure that, you know, if your elevator pitch is in need of a renovation, get started on that now.
Well, the elevator pitch for a lot of, especially in my field, does not exist because the industry in itself thinks fitness is a no-brainer. And what I mean by no-brainer is that they have a definition of fitness that doesn't apply to everybody. In what the Muscle Memory Group What we've created is a definition, and I have a book coming out that addresses that. But our definition of fitness to the non-exerciser, which is the name of the book, by the way, Non-Exerciser's Guide to Nourishing Your Soul's Journey, is we set the foundation of the book so that you know what our definition is, which is the ability to test and retest the physical equivalent of willpower over free will. That's a lot. Wow, that's mind-blowing. That's a lot. But it's just not about, hey, let's lift some weight and be healthy. It actually has a foundation of exercise short codes, life skill learning, organizing the workflow so that you can learn it step by step with no steps skipped. Even though you're in an environment where you're getting information from the magazine, from studies that they say, well, if you do this, there's a 20% chance you'll have this side effect. We don't do that. We embrace all of it, and we help you understand how that applies as you move forward in the journey itself.
When I speak to just regular trainers, or if I meet someone, I may say, what do you do? They're going to say, well, I work with people to make sure they stay healthy by working out. Yeah, okay, that gives me an understanding of what you do. But really what you might want to say to stand out is say, I work with individuals that really care about wanting to be healthy, have a good diet, and make sure that they have a long or a life that's, has longevity and happiness, because when you're healthy, you want to feel good as well as look good. It invokes emotion. In my mind, that came across better than I said it, but right. You're the expert more than I am. You could probably put it into some terms that would actually invoke some emotion in someone to make them say, wow, I really want to work with that person, rather than, yeah, I've been thinking about exercising.
Well, that's one of the things that when I have a new person coming into our space is called a weight right. And I either help them know that they can either help them access a person's inner instructor, or they can, like what I do is help them nourish their soul's journey, or they want to discover their inner instructor. There's, like you said, it has to be something that it engenders them to know right. that person, you're dealing with the emotional IQ of it, not just the physicality of it, like you were explaining. They're needing to say, hey, well, I can help you access your inner instructor. And I'm like, what do you mean by my inner instructor? Well, there are 5 core movements, 6 motor skills, CCERP. In that 3 seconds, I've just told you exactly how I'm going to do it. And I want you to remember that. And then I begin to train immediately right after that sentence. After that memory cue, CCERP, the training begins. So when I work with someone, that's how fast, what you just saw, I did with you. That's how fast I get a client.
Wow. Yeah. Because it's memorable, and it evokes, an action that somebody wants to take. And that's important. And my challenge to the listeners would be, develop your elevator speech or elevator pitch. Let us know what it is. Right. If you need help, either one of us would be glad to help you with that. So PJ, you mentioned your book. If we were interested in learning more about your book, where can we find it, and what was the name again?
Well, the name of the book is The Non-Exerciser's Guide to Nourishing Your Soul's Journey. Get your skinny, find your awesome. The book is in pre-sale right now, pre-release. What I am doing, because I'm trying to control the influx, or my pipeline, so to speak. So what I'm doing is taking emails and providing them with their first lesson start kit. And that gets them prepared for the type of content that's in the book. I don't even put my content on YouTube that often, because I let them infight, because they're infighting for the same information that's never going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's going to die on a vine. With my book, I can come out with originally mastered content so that the person can digest what it is as they are learning what it is. Most people that learn or that teach fitness, they try to teach it as if the person's going to master it day one. and the mastery of it is a long chain, because the body doesn't just automatically say, hey, I'm going to get in shape. It takes these, it's the analogy I make is, if I were taking you on a Mount Everest hike, it is known that you cannot just go straight from down from the bottom of the mountain straight up to the top. You have to stop at some point to acclimate. It's a big challenge. And most trainers think, if you train with me, I can just take you straight to the top. Heck no, that's not ever been proven. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody that can do it. The body is not even designed to do it. Like I said, if you ask a trainer, one of the questions I tell clients or people who want to evaluate me against another trainer, ask the trainer, how many systems of body fat does a person have? If they can't answer that question, guess what? You're going to be up that mountain and you're going to die. you're gonna crash and burn.
That's powerful.
Because you have to know that there are two systems of body fat. You go on a dive trip and you go down to 30 fathoms. If you don't acknowledge that there are going to be bends if you come up too fast, there are trainers who will take you down and bring you up too fast.
Right.
So that's what I try to instill in when I'm working not only with the client but with trainers that I bring on. It's not about, hey, get them to A to Z immediately because you think they're impatient. No, you've got to deliver that message in digestible pieces. That builds your brand too. They know that you are going to be patient with them. That just by itself.
Right. So how can folks learn about the pre-sale of your book?
Right now, they can come to myunwantedbodyfat@gmail.com and they can request a first lesson start kit. myunwantedbodyfatinfo@gmail.com. It's long, but we're working on shortening it. Right. That's why I'm working with you, so I can get all that down to nice bite-sized pieces. Actually, what we've done is call it the non-exercisers guide. We're building a website for it right now.
Awesome. So down the road, if somebody watches this in the archives, they can just go and search for that on Google. Right. So other than that, PJ, how can we find you and follow you on the internet?
You can go on Facebook at the Muscle Memory Group, or you can go to my Facebook page at Professorjohn. Yeah.
Great.
Look for me at PJ Professorjohn. I'm not a celebrity yet, but but with the fitness savings account, that's going to make me a real celebrity. I know that one.
We're all celebrities in our own way.
Right on.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you not only in Phoenix, but having this conversation as well. I appreciate you coming on and giving some words of wisdom in reference to exercising as well as marketing, and it's been a great conversation. Any last parting words?
I hope. Well, no, I just hope that I was able to provide some meat for your audience to chew on, a great deal of thought-provoking content, and again, I would encourage anybody out there who is looking to build their email marketing campaign or looking to have an ongoing, second to none ongoing relationship with their body, to give us a jingle. Just email us up.
Awesome. Look up Professor John and follow him. Well, this is Hank Hoffmeyer with Hank's Marketing and Business Tips. You can find us on iTunes, 60dB. You can always go to my website, hankhoffmeyer.com/Alexa for previous shows. We're also serving up our content on the Amazon Alexa, so you can have me talk to you on your Echo. Other than that, we hope you enjoyed this episode and hope you stay tuned for the next one. See you guys.
See y'all. Bye.